Summer. Hello. Hello, good evening. Here we are. I have to move a couple things. It's been a very, very trying day today. Beautiful, beautiful. Reconnecting with some other people. I had to go into storage to get my winter things and found clothes and lots of stuff that still smell like fire. It's been a very triggering, very emotional day. I've still got boxes in my room and I was overwhelmed about it. So I want to talk about lunar energy and how things are coming back. The stuff that I've been avoiding, I have to do. I have to go through those things. So it's very important that we do our shadow work and not ignore those things. Thank you so much for the like. Although I don't even see anybody here. So I want to talk about energy basics in our moon magic, your complete guide to harnessing the mystical energy of the moon. So I'm going to talk a little bit about energy basics, and then I also want to talk about the days of the week and the importance of the days and what days are even focused on. And then I am going to go into the full moon meditations for intuition. So, how to unleash and work with the full moon energy. I had my bison burger yesterday, so I'm getting back into my fasting right now today, back on my shake, and hoping that everything's gonna just work out just fine. Praying, manifesting that everything is just gonna be beautiful. I even found in storage a little picture from the princess pageant from when my child was little. She was the only girl. Well, there's one more wearing pants and a shirt, not a little dress. She was the one that there was only two of them like that. So let's dig right into these energy basics. Different types of energy. Modern science teaches us that every part of the universe has energy of some kind. The universe includes so many different types of energy. We often talk about solar energy, electrical energy, chemical energy, and biomass, organic byproduct energy. But what about lunar energy? We don't hear about that too often. But the moon does, in fact, have energy as well. I'm drinking this shake. I'm sorry, there's some in there. Most of us recognize that the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun cause the rise and fall of sea levels on a daily basis. But this energy also impacts human life and the planet's ability to support other types of living thing. Living things. Humans carry energy as well. Our personal energy increases and decreases at different times for a variety of reasons. For example, you might lose energy from not eating properly, or you might get excited about an unexpected burst of positivity in your life and notice some extra oomph in your energy levels. We have all gone from being high spirits to down in the dumps and vice versa. Energy can be contagious too. How many times have you heard it's better to be around positive people than those who are always complaining or have tales of woe? Of course, we all need to vent on occasion to special people or even to strangers. But there is venting, and then there is the perpetual poor me syndrome. Our own energy can absorb others, or we can project our fun spirit onto others. I've heard it expressed that human energy can be divided into two counterparts, stamina and fatigue. I like the terminology because it's so simple and so true. Despite our best efforts, our steam of liveliness can go from stamina to fatigue, thereby becoming depleted. In those times, it's a good idea to pay attention to why your energy changed and what you can do to rebalance it. Very important. So, qi, like qigong, qi is the Chinese we're going to talk about. Energy from qi. Balance is a key part of the Chinese views on personal energy. They believe in a universal life force or energy that they call qi. There are also other cultures that recognize qi energy but call it by a different name. Some of these are Kai, Ki, Japanese, Prana is Sanskrit, and Rausch, Ruach, is Hebrew. Excuse me. These traditions all have slightly different perceptions of exactly how energy works. However, they are in agreement that energy is inherent in all things. Many people interpret qi as not only energy, but also air, wind, or vital essences. It has a presence in everyone and everything, even though we cannot see it. When it flows too fast, it is dispersed, and the result is a lack of qi. When it flows too slowly, the result is stagnation. A steady qi energy flow in your body is the ideal scenario. People all over the world focus on the state of their qi for the purpose of creating better health and well being. And evolutionary, thank you so much for the likes. Hello, everyone. I was so intent on reading, so focused. And if you follow evolutionary energy arts, he studies this. He is a Reiki master. He teaches actually this, and he will work with you if you don't have the funds. You have to reach out to him. Hello, hello. So we're going to talk about the moon. We're talking about energy, but he specializes in Qigong and other different types of energy for healing purposes. So managing your qi. The Chinese believe that keeping your qi balanced is the way to health and well-being. Here are some ways to do that. Meditate. See the moon-specific meditations in part 3 for some ideas. Practice yoga to help unblock stagnant qi. Take a walk in a nice environment. Employ breathing techniques and exercise routines. A one-time stroll through the park, not a scroll, a stroll through the park does not a balanced body, mind, and spirit make. Form daily habits that encourage you to relax amidst frequent stressors like work and family responsibilities. Gosh, they sure didn't add with everything going on in the world today, did they? De-stress. Putting less on yourself can balance your qi. Everyone knows that, as simple as it sounds, de-stressing is difficult to do when you have a busy lifestyle. Here's a step-by-step way to reduce stress in your life. Let me turn the light on. It's going to get dark quickly. I didn't even think about it. I'm really having a very emotional day. I met with my guy's mother today to bring her some oils and things. She's very not well, coming off her Cymbalta and stuff, and it was a very emotional experience to reunite with people that I love so much after not seeing them for over a year and being just disconnected from everyone. All right, so step by step, make a commitment to de-stress is one. Know that you will have to reprioritize certain things in your life, but you can control what gets your attention. 2, have a specific plan. Write down what bothers you and how you're going to take steps in the future to change those things, such as 1, pay attention to what produces nervousness or worry in your life. If it's your job, develop a short term strategy for calming yourself until you can move on to another job that suits you better and makes you feel happier. Or whatever it is. If you do stuff at home and you're not content with the way it's moving or whatever, I don't work like a full time job. I'm still healing from this fire, still going through boxes. It's still triggering. It's still very emotional just to go into that storage unit and find things. I find some of his things. I find things from our old house. There's not a whole lot, but it's enough to trigger you. Absolutely. To get up an hour earlier in the morning so you can achieve goals for that day, getting exercise, paying bills, or responding to emails. Now, I think that's for people who work, have children, like who have very, very busy lifestyles. You have to start getting up before the kids and make time and space for your time and space. But if you don't have all that in your life, then you don't have to worry about that. These simple approaches can shift your energy. Even if your life doesn't change in one day, you have made an effort to do something about it. Keep in mind that there are more advanced ways to unblock your chi, such as hiring a professional who does energy work or studying that subject in depth. A quality organization is the Taoist Tai Chi. Tai Chi. I think it's said with like a D, T-A-I, but I know Taoist is sounded out as Taoist Society of the USA. So it's TAOIST.org/USA / it's backslashes. The moon's energy. The moon's energy is more organized and predictable than humans because each month it repeats itself on a schedule and it doesn't have to deal with daily emotions and acting and reacting to circumstances. Working with the moon's energy force can make things flow so much better in your life. For example, you could say, I want to plan that party for a day when the moon is waxing because I know my energy will be great and most of the guests will be in an upbeat mood. Or on the other hand, you could think, it's not a good day for that get together because the waning moon or the dark moon might make some individuals uninterested and just so about the event and just so makes a boring occasion. So like the natives and stuff, they actually plant and harvest and work with certain things during the moon phases. Many of the indigenous work with the moon phases. And so the moon phases, the waxing and waning, which we're still learning. I am anyway. And each sign that the moon is transiting through is important. So I've downloaded some more astrology apps so you can tell what exact sign that the moon is in. Like my app right now called Moon Calendar tells you, it tells you all about the moon. Like right now, it tells all about Taurus, because I'm a Taurus, in tropical, full moon in Aries. And so it tells me my specifics for my thing. But then this is a micro moon, it says 100% illuminated, associated with a harvest, celebration, and gratitude. But I've also heard it's called the hunter moon because the last one, well, it is a harvest season. So do a gratitude ritual and give thanks for all existing blessings, gifts, wisdom, and experiences in your life. Acknowledge all the things you've manifested so far. If your intentions are still new, you may only see small changes, but the power of gratitude combined with the full moon will supercharge your manifestation energy. The full moon amplifies emotional sensitivity and can bring up intense feelings, which can often be overwhelming. That's what I felt like all day, going through stuff, reuniting with old people. I came back and sobbed on my floor. Felt good, released that, and I ought to sleep great tonight. A healing ritual or full moon ceremony will help you to harness this energy and use it to create powerful shifts in your life. However, releasing work should only be done after the moon has reached its fullness and has started to wane. Well, I sat in there with all the boxes on the floor and I just looked at them because going through all that stuff. Now my room's a mess. Now there's boxes on the floor. And I just sat there and looked at it all for a minute, taking it all in. And then I gradually went through. I threw away what needs to be thrown away. I'm getting rid of stuff and it's out of the storage unit. Oh, yes, absolutely. Much acceleration going on. Much acceleration into absolutely into the 5D. We're all moving up and around, aren't we? Let me see. Then it says each to the degrees Mercury can or the moon's conjunct Mercury. So you'll be full of ideas. The moon opposite Pluto says this is for today. There may be a confrontation with your shadow today. Excuse me. And you're called to own your power and express it honestly and openly. This may feel challenging if you're used to taking a more subtle approach, but taking back any projections and releasing their power can be transformative. So I think I confronted a lot of shadow work today just by stuff that I had been avoiding. That I can't just leave that stuff in boxes in storage for the rest of my life. I have to go through these things. I can't avoid it. I had to face that stuff. I had to go help somebody that's really suffering right now so greatly. So greatly coming off all of those pills. So let's talk about the auras. Another ancient belief that surrounds the subject of energy is an aura. The word aura comes from the Greek language that means breath or air. It is an invisible emanation, a colorful, multi-layered oval of sorts. It arises from and surrounds every person and living thing. Each color, although subtle, signifies a different vibration, which has different meanings. More on the colors in a minute. So seeing auras. Oh yes, that's great. Kids, we're getting rid of things that no longer serve us. Absolutely, that's great. Thank you for sharing that because that's what I'm doing. Going through boxes, getting rid of clothes that I don't want. Just trying to simplify and clean out we're doing a fall cleaning instead of a spring cleaning. And you can do it every month. So, seeing auras. You can actually see or read your own aura or someone else's. It is an easy process. Choose a quiet time of day and a place where you have privacy and no spectators. You will need a white background and a mirror. If you have a wall mirror already hanging up, you can hang or drape a white sheet behind you, unless the wall behind you is already white. If you have to use a smaller mirror, position it so you have a white wall behind you or in a spot where you can hang a sheet. Stand about 3 or 4 feet away and face the mirror. You do not need to see your entire body. The upper part of your body, including your shoulders and head, will be fine. Stare at the middle of your forehead, your third eye, as some cultures call it, which is right here. Focus on that spot in your head for approximately 30 seconds. Then examine the area with your peripheral vision. This is like one of those optical illusion type things where you have to focus your vision. All the while, keep your focus on the spot in the middle of your forehead. Continue to concentrate and you will eventually start to see the background become brighter and more in focus. This is your aura. Very interesting. I've never tried this before. I've never even read all this book. As I get things, I share them with you guys. At first, you may see just 1 or 2 colors. Some will see many colors. Usually, a person has 1 or 2 colors that dominate her aura or his. Ordinarily, the brighter and more vivid the colors, the healthy or more spiritually evolved you are. The uniformity of the aura also tells you how balanced you are. Specific colors. Here are the basic colors and their meanings to give you some context when you see your aura or someone else's. White. When speaking of white, which is a combination of colors, remember that we're referring to light, not pigment. White, bright light, will always have a positive vibration. We should strive for bright light, not the color white. This light is associated with truth, purity, cleansing, healing, and protection. It further indicates a high level of spiritual attainment and a disposition to help others. Red. Red represents the physical body and can indicate force and stamina. This color can be a representative of a person who is self-centered, money-oriented, athletic, or sexual. Deeper shades of red support the negative interpretations, while light shades suggest the more positive interpretations. So in art, I learned if you add black to any color, it gives it like maroon. It would make red maroon. When you like add white, you get pink. So everything's about shading or darkening, light and dark. Orange, attention to detail, self-control, and optimism. As the sun can be uplifting, so can people projecting this hue. Some challenges the color implies include trust issues with others. For example, falling in love with people who do not respond as you desire. Oh goodness, as I'm wearing orange red pants right now. Yellow. If the yellow is pale, it could indicate you are shy and maybe trying to attempt to start a chapter in your life over again with a different approach. A golden yellow implies that you have deep inner wisdom and a general sense of well-being. The basic color of yellow shows you have a natural flow of things and enjoy life for the most part. Green. This is the color of nature. You are a good listener and enjoy focusing on healing yourself and others. This is the color of different types of healers. If you see a yellowish shade of green, it can mean uncertainty and even dishonesty. Blue. Blue is the color of truth, meditation, and spirit. Any shade of blue is good. Those who are artistic tend to have a lot of blue in their aura. Blue can also indicate healing and the ability to heal. On occasion, people with blue in their aura can become melancholy or get the blues. For the most part, they follow through with projects and are spiritually focused. Purple. This is the mystical color. People with purple in their auras are intuitive and spiritual individuals. This color does not tend to linger too long and will eventually become a deep shade of blue. If it does appear, it means you're having strong insights at the time. Black. This is technically the absence of color and not a color at all. I try to tell people that who say their favorite color is black. Black is not even a color. Regardless, for the purpose of interpretation, we will list it here. The qualities of black can be good and not so good. In fact, it can confuse you. May indicate depression, evil, and ill health. On the other hand, it can mean that you have a protective shield around yourself. Now, if you think about the protective stones, like hematite, and most of the protective stones are black. So it's not always a bad thing. That for the moment, you are in a protective state. The meanings of the aura colors provided here consist of just the basics. Your aura will change depending on your unique circumstances and experiences. A fun experiment is to try this technique on different phases of the moon to see how your aura changes. Write down the results so you don't forget and then compare. Make the moon's energy work for you. The moon and her many phases and dispositions affects the flow of energy in our bodies. Your life force is forever moving and shifting, even if you can't see it. Therefore, let the moon do the work and make your journey through life a little easier. I'm all for anything that causes less stress and more joy in life. I don't think we're on this planet to see how much negativity we can endure. Not at all. Oh, yes, absolutely, it does. Absolutely. Thank you so much for adding that. If we work with nature, this trip is much improved, to say the least. Yes, I wear a lot of black balanced with my colors. I like bright colors too. We should all have goals, and getting from point A to point B doesn't always have to be an immense challenge. There are a few ways to achieve your goals. You can plan your destination, but if you start without a route in mind and the right timing, the train may leave the station while you're still buying your ticket. You'll either have to jump on and spend the ride holding onto the rail outside of the door. Oh, I've done that. Hopped a moving train. Or you can try to plan. That's a much easier way to go. Set your timing up properly and ride in the dining car with velvet curtains and a scenic view. Yes, that's a much more preferable way to go. Either way, you will get to your destination, but I prefer the dining car personally. The energy of the moon can also set a mood. The moon can make you feel daring, romantic, anxious, sluggish, or scholarly, depending on what phase it's in. With all that influence, lean into it, not away from it. At the very least, be aware of its capacity. As we move through the book, you will learn the various ways that lunar energy affects your personal energy. And what's more, you will learn to work with the various phases of the moon, each of which have different influence to maximize your planning and potential. Like you, the moon has a life force, and that force affects what happens here on our planet, including within our own bodies. And if you learn to harness it, you can work with the moon to reach your highest goals and deepest desires. So, this is part two, harnessing the positive energy of the moon. And in the other readings we've done, I've kind of bounced a little bit to go with whatever's going on with the moon at that time. So, I'm going to touch in on the certain days that are associated with different planets that I wasn't aware of each specific day of the week. In waxing moons and waning moons, then there is a bit about a full moon celebration. And then I flip, and then it talks about moon sensitive people as well. So then I jumped back to full moon meditations. But there is a chapter 6. See, there's a very short chapters. But chapter 6 is healing by the phases of the moon, which very much stood out to me too. And Mercury in retrograde is in there, which is coming up on Halloween. So I think that's important too. So the moon releases powerful energy all the time, but each lunar phase has its own energetic frequency that can help you achieve your goals. Knowing which particular frequency is conducive to what you want to undertake is the key to harnessing that energy. The moon's shifting flow of intensity can empower you to be more creative, balanced, successful, healthy, and happy. Calculating how and when to use this moon magic is the springboard to your accomplishments. One of the key secrets is having a sense of when to proceed and when to yield. Even if you have to practice a tad to find out what techniques work best for you, it's worth it. Nature is offering you a shortcut toward victory. Be prepared and use it. When to practice moon magic. Moon phases plus days of the week equals a powerful combination. The phases of the moon, which were discussed in chapter 1, and we already did, are key to learning to use the moon's power for your specific intentions. But you can even learn to take this power a step further by doing your moon magic on a certain day of the week. By combining a moon phase with the energy associated with a particular day of the week, you're boosting your intention and opening up even more possibilities. Here's an added tip. If you decide to combine a moon phase and a day of the week together, make a little note of what day it was when you did your meditation, spell, whatever you want to call it, or recipe, so you can go back later and see how well things worked out. You might want to tweak things the next time around. So, the days of the week, whether you're doing a moon meditation or just want to be in sync with what the day has to offer, consider the energies associated with that day, with each day. Excuse me. Will your intentions and meditations work on other days of the week? Of course they will. But because certain energies are associated with specific days of the week, you might get what you're after faster if you're working with these guidelines instead of working independently on them. So I'll probably write these on my calendar. Keep the following days in mind when you're planning on doing any kind of moon magic, be it planting, meditating, cooking, or spiritual and healing work. Working with the moon will make things flow better. So Sunday, perfect, because here we are, is associated with the sun. Sunday is the time to focus on matters dealing with goals, wellness, and merriment. These include personal finances, career advancements, produce or crops, legal matters, guy stuff, business and professional partnerships. Maybe that's why they're having on Sunday football. Mental and physical health, civic undertakings, and entertainment. This might be a great day to give thought to whether you want to further your education or how to invest it wisely. Monday, associated with the moon. Mondays correspond well to things that stereotypically deal with women, family, and the home, such as gardening, cooking, healing, medicine, and beauty. It's also a good day to focus on developing your intuition, past life regressions, wisdom, and spiritual growth. If you're going to meditate on pursuing a job in the culinary field, this is a great day for that. Plan a trip or look for those antiques you must have. Divination is done well on this day. So get out those tarot cards while you're waiting for your beef stew to heat up and serve it on those vintage plates you just bought at the antique fair. Tuesday is associated with Mars. Tuesday relates to things of physical nature, like getting in shape and physical endurance, activities that are stereotypically more masculine in nature. It also corresponds to anything passionate or sexual. It's a time for new beginnings. If you wanted to meditate on starting a new job in the great outdoors, this would be a good day of the week to do that. Some see Tuesday as an excellent time to have surgeries or tests. That is noted on that calendar my grandma gave me that has the moon phases on it. And it'll say, don't. It's not. You can even look up like moon phase today on Google and it'll tell you today's not a good time to have a surgery or whatever. Even the astrologer, Sam Jeppy and stuff, say stuff like that. Or people, I've seen people asking him anyway. Protection rituals or endeavors are more powerful on this day. Anything involving the military or law enforcement is also enhanced on Tuesday. That's very interesting to know because it's time for initiating things. For example, this is a good time to think about adopting a pet. Some people adopt animals via their horoscope sign to see if they will be compatible with their newfound friend. If you are interested in starting a pet adoption process based on your horoscope, you might look into talking to an astrologer you know or find one online, like Magdalena Young at www.12soulsteps.com. Wednesday is associated with Mercury. Wednesday is the best time to concentrate on matters that have to do with arts. Communication is another area to focus on because Mercury rules communication on Wednesdays. No, Mercury rules communication all the time, but Wednesday's a good day to work with Mercury. Make those phone calls or send those emails you were procrastinating about. Consider, oh, yeah. All right. I wonder if it's going to say something about that, but that's really good to know. Thank you. I don't really ever plan on really having a surgery, but you never know what can happen. I sure don't want to speak that into existence. I've never actually had to have surgery or had a broken bone, just a broken heart. All right, so make those phone calls. Oh, we're not procrastinating. And consider issues involving contracts, accounting, education, and family members. It's time to hire someone to finally help you with your business. This day also lends itself well to reading books like Moon Magic or taking that new astrology class. If you are the artsy fartsy kind of guy or gal, this is a day for you to think outside the box and get even more creative. Education, memorizing, and visiting friends are associated with this day. Because Wednesday is midweek, it makes us stop and think about whether we're going backward or forward, taking care of ourselves or not, as at this point we can go either way. Therefore, healing is associated with this day. Example, do we continue on as in the past or start the restoration of ourselves now? Thursday is associated with Jupiter. Thursday is the best for socializing, traveling long distance, gambling. I don't ever suggest gambling. I'm going to just say that first and foremost. Hello. You were born, so you are in the Mercury in time of communication. That planet rules communication. So we're studying like moon magic right now and how to it's called your complete guide to harnessing the mystical energy of the moon. And I've got a little folder with the other ones that we've done out of it. Being that the full moon is today, so we're going to focus on full moon meditation here in a minute. But I'm reading all about this interesting lunar energy basics for just a second. So that I think I might have been born on a Wednesday too. Interesting. So we're kind of connecting on the communication realm, I would say. So gambling, hold on, let me read that again. Thursday is best for socializing, traveling long distances. It says gambling, but I do not promote or think anybody should be gambling. What a waste of money. Religious pursuits, and anything related to foreign interests. This is a day of luck, achievement, and self improvement. So I guess if you're feeling lucky and want to gamble, go right ahead. But I don't. Many people get too addicted to it, and it steals people from their families. Meetings with doctors, lawyers, psychologists, and counselors are good to schedule on Thursdays, as Thursday's energy allows us to develop mentally and spiritually. Sports competition and research are good to do on Thursdays, since the work week influences the winding down. So is the urgency to get things concluded, such as political resolutions, some of which you may be interested in. Have you been thinking about attending that peaceful rally or telling your local political figures about that new dog the community needs? If it takes place on a Thursday, give it a whirl. If it does not take place on a Thursday, at least plan for it the Thursday before the event. Wealth and money matters reign. If you're hoping to get an award or reward, it's a good day to include that intention in meditations. Friday is associated with Venus, the planet of love. This is the best time to focus your meditation on romance, love, friendships, dating, pleasure, partners, unions, and fertility. As on Wednesday, which is a day of expression, you can also look into artistic endeavors on Friday, which is not only ruled by the planet of love, but also creativity. Social activities and partying are associated with Friday's energy too, of course. This is an ideal day to engage in anything involving music, fashion, entertaining others, or design. It's a time of healing your body and your mind. Friday is twofold. You can have fun, relax, or do both. Having fun and relaxing is all healing. Hence, if you need a little mental healing from a stressful week or situation, the vibration of Venus on Friday will be very beneficial. Anything you are passionate about should be in focus on Friday. Don't be embarrassed to be passionate about money, magic, or material things. Make sure you don't love money too much, though. Friday will suit you whether you want to sit a spell or cast a spell. Make sure you're doing all positive manifestations, though. Don't ever cast evil spells because that shit will come back to you. I promise you it will. We only want to do white light magic, not black magic at all. Not on ourselves and not at others. And keep in mind that when I say spell casting, I'm also talking about meditation. So we're not casting evil spells or anything like that at all. Oh, okay. Yellow is a good peaceful healing color too. Yes. Blue is very good. It just said blue, people with blue around their auras is for healing. Beautiful. Thank you. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. Spell casting is simply a type of concentration and intention, whether you're focus where you're focusing most of your energy. So we're not like casting evil spells and making up poisons. Okay, we're healers. It's medicine. There's a big controversy between what the church has done to project what people who work with lunar energy, whether you call them witches or whatever the world has grown to know, they're healers. I can assure you of that. So Saturday is associated with Saturn. Saturday will give you a boost if you need to banish something. It is associated with death, but not necessarily physical death. It could be the death of something you want gone or the end of something that serves no purpose in your life. This could be a someone too. So it's like the death card. It's a death, not the death of the person, but the death of the thing in your life, something that no longer serves your highest good, something that is no longer serving you, like cleaning your room. And oh yes, it's all about focusing your intentions. But people don't understand the power of their words. Many people use not their positive I am statements, but they're literally speaking dis-ease and death upon themselves. Like somebody in evolutionary energy arts last night was saying, we're all slaves, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm free. You can be a slave if you want. But no, we're not. Stop speaking that. Like people are aware of their thoughts and their words being energy and how they're speaking things into existence. I'm not talking. Absolutely. Yes, they are. And somebody could stab you right in the back with a whole bunch of words, couldn't they? Yes, they are. Thank you for saying that like that. Absolutely. So they have the power to heal or the power to build up. Hello, Lily. Hello. Oh, I didn't even see that up there. There was so much going on and I'm reading. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody joining and thank you for the likes. So finances and real estate transactions could be in the spotlight on Saturday as well. Other things to include in your meditations are matters that you want to dismiss or that require protection from people, places, or things. Also, transformation and spiritual cleansing. So sweep away that negative energy from your mind. So combining day and moon energies. I'm going to keep reading. Now that you know that the energies associated with the days of the week, and you know the phases of the moon, you are ready to put together a strategy for practicing moon magic that's geared toward achieving a specific goal. However, there are times where you might want to work in reverse. For instance, see what day and moon phase you're in now, and then see what you could accomplish. So it's Sunday, and what did we say that was? What phase we're on? And it's a full moon, obviously. But it says it's associated with the sun. So today would be very, very powerful solar and lunar energy because of the full moon. But let's see what it says. Moon phases, a quick reminder of the moon phases and their significance. So we're going to do a refresher. How great. New moon, that first gleam of light in a crescent. Focus on new beginnings and starting or preparing for what you want in life. This is where you set your intentions for the month for the lunar cycle. because not each new moon begins on the first of every month. So then there's the waxing moon, and that is the moon looks like it's increasing inside. Waxing is before the first quarter, and there's the waxing crescent, then the first quarter, then the waxing gibbous, and then the full moon. So focus on making things you want to grow come to fruition, from relationships to better health to your financial portfolio. The full moon, when the moon is at its brightest and looks completely round in the sky. This is a time for increasing your intuition, rituals that require lots of extra energy, or meditations that require very strong concentration. The waning moon, which is after the full moon. So you get the waning gibbous and then the waning crescent and then the dark moon before your new moon, and you begin this cycle again. The moon is getting slighter to the eye, and so can things you don't want in your life. It's time to discard of the unwanted in your body, mind, and spirit, and also in your physical space. Anything that's cluttered, it's a really good time. Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome, Chris. Where are you at? I'm guessing in the United States. That's awesome. Awesome. We're making all kinds of CBDs and oils. I'm making essential oils and stuff like that here in Illinois. And then my friend is making edibles. My mom's CBD oils are selling like crazy and helping so many people with pain and anxiety. It's just great. That's really awesome. I'm so glad when people are starting to make things and doing things, or even if they, okay, all right, all right. So you're not too far. You're over here on the western side with us. The dark moon. Let's talk about the dark moon. That's really awesome. I'm proud of you. That's super cool. When the moon is not visible at all, it's dark moon. It's a phase when you may find you need a relaxing retreat, or you just need a retreat to get away from everyone else. Absolutely. I do that frequently. Sample ways to combine days and moon phases. It's fun and interesting to try to determine which day is best for achieving specific goals that will help you realize balance in your life. If you have to choose between working in conjunction with a day of the week or a specific moon phase, the phase will most likely be more powerful. Also, pairing days of the week with optimal moon phases may seem like it requires an awful lot of organization and planning as you first learn about these powerful energies. But don't forget that combining the two will give you added edge for better and faster results. A waxing moon and Wednesday. Let's say the moon is waxing and it is Wednesday. What moon meditation or rite is best for today? Remember, waxing means growing, so you should focus on something you want more of or something you want to establish. Now let's look at the day of the week a little more closely. We know that Wednesday has a vibration for communication. So perhaps one of the things you want to accomplish is calling, writing, or emailing potential employers about a job. The forces of establishing communication are aligned for you on this day and in this moon phase. So these are little tips to increasing your manifestation. Waxing moon and Thursday. If you really need to communicate an idea or pitch yourself, Thursday is strong with energy that brings luck and good fortune. Dare I say, a waxing moon on a Thursday is a good day to gamble or buy a lottery ticket. Now I'm talking $1 or two. She's not saying go spend your life savings. You do not want to develop a gambling compulsion every Thursday. I'm so glad she put that in there. Yes. The moon is not encouraging you to do that, but throwing down a few bucks for a scratch ticket after meditating or setting your intention during the correct phase of a Thursday moon just might pay off big time. Waxing moon and Friday. How about Friday? Well, it's a good day for conjuring up love. So if you find yourself lonely and the moon is waxing on a Friday, set your intention and set it strongly. By the excuse me, by the following weekend, you might just have a special someone to sing a love song with or two. Be careful when you start asking for manifesting loves because you never know what could come. I had a guy very adamant to give me his number yesterday, and I just took it so he'd shut up. I did not give mine away, and then I just said thanks, goodbye. I just let him give it to me now, so then I can just walk away. All right, I gotta go. Call you later. Waning moon ends Saturday. Now, when the moon is waning, you can work on different intentions. Look to a Saturday if you want to get rid of those guests who have overstayed their welcome by however many days. You stop counting at day 3, the point at which house guests and fish begin to stink. Stink. Incorporate into your moon meditation or spell a few minimal sentences aimed directly at this source. You may want to tell your friend it's been so lovely having her, and you can't believe how quickly the time has passed and her visit come to an end. The moon can help guide you to find the right words and the right energy to pass this intention along painlessly and subtly. Let the moon infuse you with gratitude for the visit and graciousness to show your guests the door in the nicest way possible. If you are forced to evict a tenant, they will most likely go easily after your moon meditation. If you focus on seeing them leave peacefully with all money you are owed paid in full. So thanks Saturday to get rid of things or people in your life you want to remove either temporarily or forever. Saturday is also a good day for banishing or evicting negative energies. Full moon celebrations. Moon magic isn't just about doing meditations on certain days of the week. You can also pour that energy into celebrations. Most moon gazers seem to lean toward full moon celebrations, which can be a time of very strong lunar vibration. In fact, the lunar energy is so strong it can sometimes throw us a curve if we don't plan ahead. The full moon is a great time to commemorate an anniversary, making a commitment to someone, starting a business, or buying your first house. Unfortunately, we can't always celebrate things on the very date they occurred in the past, but we still want to mark the occasion. So spend some party planning magic during the full moon of any month. You could also hold these types of events during a waxing moon, but the full moon also represents excitement and memorable times due to the visual impact of something so majestic. Plus, if it's outside, you can see the food and beverage table better. You might be celebrating a teenager maturing into adult. Oh, I would be celebrating that if it happened. Ha! Or the freedom associated with being newly divorced. It can be a nod to shedding 25 pounds and feeling that a new you is on the horizon. It could be anything that represents a new stage of life after being in a stagnant situation for so long. It's moving up a spiritual or physical ladder. The full moon is also tied to our intuition. My dreams were really vivid last night, and it said that our psychic abilities are at their peak at this phase. So, what a better time to celebrate? Oh, yeah, I bet so. It's a good time to start setting intentions right at the new moon, huh? Right after we return from the dark side of the moon. Meditations and rituals during full moons. All your senses are heightened at the time of the full moon, which makes it an exceptional time for meditation of any kind, as well as ceremonies or rituals. Your energy is more intense, and your natural psychic abilities reach their peak at this time because of the thin veil of energy between the spirit world, the universal life force, and the physical world. In other words, a full moon puts a lot of psychic energy out there that comes from many different sources. It could be from spirits who have passed on or from your next door neighbor who just happens to be angry during the full moon. Absorbing energy. Oh, some of us absorb energy so well. When thinking about the energy around you, well, why did that um, hide that? Wow, that's awesome. Maybe I've been taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day, a vegan thing. Thank you for sharing that. It censored it because of the name, I guess. Oh, I see. I'd imagine that he's a writer. Thank you for sharing that. It held it for review, which we desperately needed the other day during some little troll attack. It was like a week ago. It was out of nowhere. It went crazy. I don't know what happened. Anyway, let's talk about absorbing energy. Yes, yes. I see. I don't understand why I did it. I have it so that because I don't have enough moderators that are here like all the time. There's some people that stick for some things and some that leave for other things. So it's like, I can't even believe what the heck happened that one day. So it's whatever. We're past that. Absorbing energy. When thinking about the energy around you, it's important to remember that you can absorb energy from anywhere or anyone. Oh, wow. I will have to look into him. Thank you so much. Take, for example, someone who's depressed, tired, and not feeling very well for whatever reason. She may walk into a room with sincerely happy people and her mood becomes uplifted. Or you may have one friend who always gives you peace of mind. That's you absorbing positive vibrations, but we can also absorb negative vibrations. However, emotions during a full moon are very strong. People who put out negative vibrations tend to be more resilient than those who are joyous but more mild in nature. It's not that happy people are weaker, it's that they aren't focused on constantly putting up their armor of psychic protection when negative people are emanating negatively so intensely that it expands. So let's talk about moon sensitive people. And then I think I'm going to start the healing by the phases of the moon later. But I'm going to jump over here to the full moon meditations and see what it has to say after I read the moon sensitive people. Have you ever walked into a room and although the people inside, let's say a couple, appeared to be happy and getting along, you just felt there was something wrong because you could sense underlying tension? Absolutely. I can feel that when I walk in a room. I can feel it immediately. Or have you ever felt happy, but then a deep conversation with someone on the phone or via text made you feel depleted? These people are energy vampires and they don't even know it. Are you someone who picks up negative energy like this regularly? Yes, I do. Huh. If so, you might be a full moon sensitive. If you can shrug off negativity, you might be a full moon tolerant. Not sure where you fall on the spectrum? Break out that journal and observe your moods around the time of the full moon. If you are full moon sensitive, you can absorb energy like a sponge. Even on a night where there is no visible full moon, you can still be affected by its energy. The full moon has the ability to open us up even more to the saturation of negative sensations. Someone who is moon sensitive typically becomes over emotional. Oh my gosh. Depressed, discouraged, tired, easily temperamental, and has lots of up and down shift in energy at the time of the full moon. Mine, I've noticed, seems to go with the phases of the moon, and as it transits signs, I notice lots of different things now. You may become a drama queen or king during this phase. You may break up with a significant other because he or she did something minor, or you may have a meltdown when the food you ordered in a restaurant isn't completely perfect. Pay attention to your mood and disposition around the full moon. Note mood swings and general changes in attitude that you just can't pinpoint to a direct cause. Do you have a pattern around this phase that makes you act so differently? If so, you may be moon sensitive. Some people who are moon sensitive have learned to manage it by simply visualizing a white light of protection around themselves as a psychic shield. You can try this at home. Just envision a white bubble, balloon, or aura of white light around you. This visualization is a simple form of protection against darts of negativity from others, those energy vampires coming at you. This technique will help you manage some of the more difficult situations you might encounter, but it does not turn you suddenly into a full moon tolerant. Moon tolerant people. Some people can harness the energy of the full moon and just get on with their lives. They are moon tolerant people. Does that make them spiritually or psychically more advanced? Not at all. It just means that things roll off their back more easily, including lunar energy. I am a hypersensitive to everything. Someone who is moon tolerant is typically low key, logical almost to a fault, has no energy spikes, and can whisk away negative events with words like, I'm not getting upset about this because everything happens for a higher purpose. I try to keep that attitude, but I definitely have to roll through waves of emotion. I'm hypersensitive to all types of energy. However, you decide to practice your moon magic by meditation, celebration, or planting in the moonlight, be prepared to engage your energy and let the moon take it where it will. So let me hold that page. Found this little thing I used to have hanging on my wall. It says, I was normal once. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Oh, so we'll talk later. When I'm going to do this chapter 6 about healing by the phases of the moon, it does say using moon phases to plan medical procedures. But I want to focus on the full moon meditation today because it's a full moon today. It's not going to be a full moon tomorrow or a couple days from now. So I want to focus on this right here real quick because we're already an hour in and I've got to shower and do my stuff today. Do my relaxing. It was a very, very emotional day for me. So, full moon meditations for intuition. The power of full moon meditations. In chapter 5, we talked about the best time for practicing moon magic, including how to determine if you're moon sensitive, open to absorbing negative energy during the full moon, or moon tolerant, someone who lets negative energy slide off her back. I don't know why it always says her, it just does. You may want to review that section prior to practicing the meditations discussed in this chapter, just so you're in tune with your own energy prior to basking in the glow of the meditative moon. Full moon meditations can be done one day before the full moon, on the very night of a full moon, or the day after. The moon is illuminated approximately 98% on these days. Therefore, you have the opportunity to do 3 full moon meditations on 3 separate occasions in a month. The actual full moon at 100% brightness only lasts for a minute. General full moon meditation. When it comes to a full moon meditation, the vibration is so strong that it is wide open to any type of meditation if you are not moon sensitive. Therefore, I have included a general full moon meditation that allows you to fill in your request. Always remain positive and do not do meditation that would have negative consequences for yourself or anyone else or anything. Make sure you're in a positive realm when you're doing these things. I even like to use the example that, oh, yes, absolutely. It's very important. Very, very important. I like to use this example. When I used to do psychedelics with people, when I do psychedelics with people, let me put it that way. I had people that would be in a negative frame of mind, and you can actually make your entire spiritual experience with the psychedelics a negative experience by the way and the mind that you have when you enter into it. People have bad trips because they get paranoid and they freak out when they're taking it. I used to just go about my time and get all spiritual, put some music on and whatever. And I've never in my life had a bad trip, not one time. And I've done lots of psychedelics, many, many. It's amazing spiritual connections. So make sure that you're in a positive frame of mind when you're doing any of this stuff. Recite out loud or to yourself. This full moon energy is something that I'm here to channel. Come forth and hear my thoughts and wishes. Those wishes will become reality. By the next full moon, I will start to see the passageway that brings me to my intention. My intention is to, and state your desire. After you reflect on what you asked, continue by saying, Amen, and so it is, blessed be, thank you, or anything you feel comfortable with. I like blessed be, actually. I do like that. Meditation for increasing psychic abilities and intuition. Being psychic or intuitive is something that needs to be developed on a regular basis. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. If you feel limited by the physical world when it comes to finding answers and want to trust your instincts more often, this is something you should consider. Recite out loud or to yourself, I have made the decision to allow my psychic abilities to expand and mature. And if anybody wants these, I can send you a photo of them through my email, which is freeflowforlove369@gmail.com. And so I can just send a copy if you want the ones that are written here, or make your own. Or you can use this as a good base one. I've made my decision to allow my psychic abilities to expand and mature. I will use my intuition with a positive attitude for good alone. My psychic aptitude may be much more than I realize. I am open to the vibrations of this full moon to allow me to concentrate and follow my sixth sense. I also allow any form of divination to assist me in bringing this vibration forward. If I choose not to use any form of divination, I will allow the messages from my higher power to emerge. So whatever your higher power is, after you reflect on what you asked, conclude by saying amen, and so it is, blessed be, thank you, or anything you feel comfortable with, whatever it is. Hello, Mike. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. All right. Thank you for joining us. Divination during a full moon. The full moon is a good time to practice different forms of divination, which roughly put is fortune telling using some types of tools for concentration, like tea leaves or cards, etc. Many of us find that our intuition is increased at the time of a full moon. There's no way to quantify that. We just feel it. Meditating on the night of a full moon is very powerful for those who want to increase their ability to predict future events and see beyond the physical realm. Harness that lunar energy to work with you. Yes, it is. Yes, in tropical areas. Yes, it beautiful is in Aries. And that app I've downloaded is called Moon Calendar, and it'll break it down just for your specific day. There's another one called Moon Phase as well, and it says it's 98%, tells you how far away it is. And I'm trying to see this one because I had downloaded one that was for the Vedic. I think it's Cosmic Insights. Let me see what it says. It says, my bird is an owl. And then it'll tell you about your nakshatras and stuff like that, which is a whole new learning experience, even for me. Yes, fire Aries. Trying to see It doesn't say. I think that the Vedic, like Sam Jeppy is saying, that it's in Pisces. So they're based on Eastern beliefs and we're based on Western. And since we just learned about that in this stage of time, how they changed things, it's kind of unreal. I like to look at both of them and see what they're saying about things because I think it's going to be a combination of everything. Yes, the tropical astrologers are definitely in Aries, and the other ones are saying Pisces. So it's I didn't even see what freaking Ethan said. Let's see what he had to say because he goes by where the moon is at right now, and they have astrology apps where you can tell where the planets are. Matter of fact, let me look at this sky view light, and I'll tell you what it says. Because the moon should be right about. It shows it's in Pisces right now. Like right where the two fish meet, even right down there at the little. So that's just showing the sign now, but it still doesn't have Ophiuchus in it. Ooh. So does the tropical stuff matter? Absolutely it does. Does the other Vedic or true sidereal matter to you? Yes, it does. It all matters so much. I think it all does. The full moon, hold on, we're divination, which roughly put is fortune telling using some types of tools for concentration, like tea leaves or cards, etc. Tea leaves. Many of us find that our intuition is increased at the time of the full moon. Yes, I think it all matters very much. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. There's no way to quantify that. We just feel it. Meditating on the night of a full moon is very powerful for those who want to increase their ability to predict future events and see beyond the physical realm. Harness that lunar energy to work with you. And there was a little practice at the beginning about being able to see your own aura, to put a white sheet behind you and look in a mirror and focus on your third eye area. And it's kind of like the optical illusion when you focus, you know how you stare at something for so long, other things start to come forth. So that was earlier in the video, probably more close to the beginning. And then it talks about all the different kinds of colors, white light, red light, and all the colors of the rainbow, including black. And black isn't always bad either. So harness that lunar energy to work with you. Although doing readings of any kind at a full moon sounds like a recipe for success, this power can be too much for those who are moon sensitive. See chapter 5. Yes, I am highly sensitive to everything. If this describes you, your level of concentration may become too strenuous and actually block your focus. I had a friend who always opted to do her readings at a waxing moon instead of a full moon for this reason. She explained that she got so excited about the moon being full, she simply could not bring her thoughts together. Also, some people who are just starting out with sharpening their intuition lack confidence and feel pressure to perform, which can also lead to a mental moon block. On the night or day of a full moon, I suggest you try some form of divination. Do the suggested meditation I provided for increased intuition earlier in this chapter beforehand to boost your ability to connect with the universe. Regarding, reading tea leaves and coffee grounds. I've never heard of this before, so let's just see what it says. One example of a simple divination technique is reading tea leaves or coffee grounds. The practice of seeking divine knowledge through the use of interpretive tools and rituals has been utilized by oracles and spiritual masters since before the discovery of tea in South Asia, almost 5,000 years ago. In one such system, thought to be a precursor to the tea leaf reading, Chinese monks studied the cracks and residue created inside the heart of a bell, to understand its message or guidance for restoring health and harmony. This made sense to the monks because of the resonance of a bell ringing or chiming was considered a sacred sound, like your singing bowls, a blessing believed to ward off evil spirits or negative forces, as well as a method of rebalancing energy. Analyzing the designs of fissures and dirt, leaves, and other debris formed by the bell's vibration was a way of understanding a challenging situation, guiding next moves, and predicting what was coming in the future. With the birthplace of tea said to be in southwestern China around 2737 BC, it was most likely the Chinese who first noticed the similarities between a bell and a teacup and started interpreting the residue of tea leaves just as they had the residue inside the bells. All through the centuries, as the popularity of tea traveled from Southeast Asia to Japan, Russia and the Middle East, Europe and the British Isles, so did the art of what is known as tassomancy, Tasseomancy, or tasseography, Arabic tassa, Tassa, for cup, and mancy, Mancy, for divination. I really think that tea has been around a lot longer than that. Now that we're reading Stage of Time and we're learning there's so much more, I bet you tea has been around longer than that. Just 5,000 years. The universe is infinite. Getting mentally prepared. As with all divination, sacred regard and focused intention are vital aspects of the practice of tasseography. It's important to honor and align with the universe and to affirm that for every question, there is an answer. For every problem, a solution. Additionally, it's important to pay attention, remain open, and trust you will easily intuit and understand the guidance provided. Preparing your materials. This is an activity you can do with someone else on the night or day of a full moon. Some people prefer to read for someone else and allow that person to read for them. There's less of a chance of you inserting your own subconscious thoughts into a reading that way. Whether you do this alone or with a friend, have everything prepared in advance. Running back and forth can limit your concentration. Find the right cup. Select a teacup with a handle that is shallow, wide, or white, or light in color without patterns or designs on the inside. Fancy outsides are acceptable. You're reading tea? I'm still kind of confused about this. Make sure the teacup has a matching saucer if possible, and both are made of earthen material, such as porcelain or stoneware. No mugs, no plastic or corrupt, and absolutely no broken, chipped, or cracked teacups or saucers. Divination tools must be sound, whole, and in good condition to facilitate an empowered connection and meaningful reading. I've never heard of this before in my life. I'd also never heard of the things when I went into all the moon groups on Facebook of them actually collecting lunar energy, and then they drink. They actually put it in like a mason jar, set it out on the nights of the full moon, connect it, say it detoxes and cleanses. I would see the most amazing things that I'd never seen in my life before. When I started venturing into the little witches' rooms, preparing coffee, you'll need to use. Let's see what's the gist of all this, because this, I'm really not going to go do this right now. If you want to do a tea reading, go Google it, or we'll find a link and put it below or whatever. If you want these, ask me and I'll email it to you. I sure will. But I want to see what this is. Before you read the tea leaves or coffee grounds, you need to write the message. The reader or seer is the person reading the leaves or grounds for the sitter, the person receiving the reading. The sitter should think about a question or focus on a specific intention while enjoying their cup of tea or coffee according to the steps. Drink nearly all of the tea or coffee, leaving only a few drops of liquid in the bottom. With the left hand, the sitter holds the cup by the handle with the rim of the cup. The sitter then swishes the last of the tea or coffee quickly in a circular clockwise motion 3 times. This distributes the leaves or grounds around the cup. The sitter then turns the cup upside down on the saucer, allowing the liquid to drain naturally. The remaining liquid to drain naturally. Do not tap on the cup. After the liquid is drained, turn the cup back over. The leaves or grounds should have clumped, forming the shapes that will be interpreted. Ooh, interesting. If you're reading for yourself, follow the same steps. However, in this case, it's important to be honest with yourself about what you see. This is why people often prefer not to read for themselves. Reading the message. So you read what the tea looks like when it comes out. Very interesting. As a reader, take the cup and prepare to examine its contents by taking a few deep breaths. So then it gives a little view of, I guess, what your tea leaves or that's very interesting. Then you interpret what you see on the rim or events in the present, the side events in the near future up to 3 months, and the bottom events further out up to 9 months. I'm not going to go into all that right now. That's a little too far for me right this moment. Talks about general shapes. So that's still even going to be with the tea leaf reading. This is very interesting, I must say. That's like it's a whole lot of pages about it, really. It says if you see the snake, now that we're talking about snakes, huh? If you see a snake, it's a bad omen. Be careful to avoid trouble. That's not what we're really learning in this stage of time, huh? So I think I am going to, let me see if it says anything about this harvest moon or the hunter's moon. No. But wait, what were we going to do about Mercury retrograde? We'll do that because it's not till the end of the month anyway. So I definitely want to keep reading this book though, because I want to do the healing by the phases of the moon. That's very important. And Mercury retrograde's right in there. So I will keep this book first in front and center so that we can work on it too as well. I've just kind of got to balance out what we're working on. And I think it's very important with those of us that are following along with this stage of time to be able to digest that information and think about it. And it's kind of crazy because some of the stuff that's been talked about and questions have been asked have actually been answered right in that book. So it's kind of mind-blowing to me that you get confirmation on the things that we're looking for. So I'm learning so much and I'm so glad to be able to share it with you guys. I'm really so thankful for you guys and helping me build my channel. You guys are like some of the first people that were there. Rooster was really the first one to show up in live, and Courageous Spirit. But she has a new name now and she's in Australia. She got locked out of her account. So I can't remember what her name is. I don't know where Gaia went or what Gaia changed Gaia's name to. So you guys are the ones that chime in, and I thank you so much for lifting me up along the way too. I'm so glad we're learning together. I'm so glad I'm able to share what I do know and what I have. Um, I do want to finish the book, Practicing Peace in Times of War, because we're literally almost done with it. So I may even come back and do a little chapter out of that. I am going to go take a break here. I'm so glad. And do you remember that night we both posted Perfect Love Cast Out All Fear? That was crazy because when I went to punch it in, yes, it was amazing. That was divine timing, wasn't it? So we can all learn together and heal together. That was absolutely perfect. So it's amazing how people keep getting connected in the ways that we do, and how we just find somebody in a different chat room or whatever's going on. It's all beautiful. So as long as we're all working together in peace and harmony healing, it's great fun. It's great fun. I think it's better when we do it together, right? Yes, it's beautiful. Perfect love casts out all fear. And then I start getting like a little paranoid for a second, and I was like, is this guy's name really Mike? Is this really my guy checking on me? So I went and it was like, how many videos has he posted from when? 2 years ago. Yeah, it's not my guy. See, and then because a lot of things are telling me that I'm being watched, and that I'm getting messages about lots of things going on right now. So I have to be aware of what's going on. And I get under attack. I was under cyber attack, spiritual attack, whatever you want to call it. And I like almost burned alive in January. Somebody set my house on fire. I just found stuff. Look at this, what I found down in the basement before the fire, and I actually put it on. It's a nun outfit. It's a nun's outfit, but there's no habit to it. But it literally, I just found it in storage, and it smells straight like fire. All this stuff was in the fire. So, these triggering moments and this triggery stuff that goes on is not really good. So I just have to be aware of if I'm being watched. If people say you're being watched, oh, they're watching your stuff. And I'm like, I know people watch me. I know this. I know this, but then I just have to stay aware and make sure I'm keeping myself protected and safe. Not that I'm not protected and safe. I know that I am, but I have to know who's being involved in stuff that's going on. So yeah, I was totally just making sure I know who is who and people aren't tricking me, because there are some tricky ass people out there. So I was relieved. I was like, nope. Been posting videos for a couple years now. Relax. Oh, I will. I'm definitely gonna wear it. Definitely gonna wear it. Coming up soon. I'll have to wear it out of the house. I'm gonna have to find a little under thing to wear, because definitely, I don't even know if I'm going out for Halloween. Maybe I'll just hand out candy in it. That's a better idea. My Lakota sister actually told me to not be surprised if I start preferring solitude and alone time more and more all the time, so I can do my stuff. Yeah, this one I had, and then I got like a little resale shop called Courage Connections. That was a woman's funding thing. They had a little, those little Amish hats, and it's homemade. And so I actually put this on with that, and my mom was like, "You have lost your ever loving mind." I was like, "Oh, come on, we could be a nun." I said, "I have no desire right now than to be spiritually connected, but I would never live in the Catholic Church or in a convent." I said, "But yeah, I have a Wonder Woman. Did you see it, Mike? I got my Wonder Woman shirt, and I have a cape. It's got a cape with blue stars on it, and it's got the WW on the front. So I got it at Walmart the other day. An Amish nun, right? It had a little Amish on it. It was so cute. It was such a cute picture because I was doing like that. I put it on Facebook when I was on there, and my grandma and people like didn't find it nearly as funny. And I didn't do it at Halloween. I found the nun outfit like in January before the fire in my mom's basement, going through old boxes. So I was just having a good old time down there, having fun, going through old stuff. So it was interesting. It was fun. Always got to make life fun and have fun, right? Always have to. Especially then after all of the shit that happened afterwards, it was unbelievable. So let's end with this little quote that I found. Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. And I am so grateful for you guys. You guys help build me up, and I don't feel so isolated when I have others that are on the same kind of journey that I'm on and seeking the same things. And I can connect with you guys. So it really helps lift me up because I had a very, very emotional day. And lots of times, if I don't speak about it, you guys would never know because I'll come on and put on a smile and nobody would ever know what that I was just sobbing in fetal position. Well, I actually was on my knees with my forehead on the floor, just sobbing my eyes out. And then I rose. I looked around and I said, thank you. Thank you for bringing the people back into my life, for uniting the people that we have, but for reconnecting beautiful people that I love so much. It was very emotional to see my guy's mother today. And we ended up being there for almost 2 hours. It was very beautiful. It felt so good to give her stuff. And she was like, oh, I want to give you stuff. And she was like, I have missed you so much. She just hugged me so tight. And I hugged her back so tight because I missed her so much. We spent so much time together. And so it was just beautiful. So I said, love and healing light. Go out and enjoy the moon tonight. Go out there and check it out. If you are, I know I'm not walking over to the park, but it is, my neighborhood is not completely lit up. I might have to walk around the block a little bit to see it, but it should be further over here in the sky from where I'm sitting now. So I'm going to go or at least go outside and see if I can see it yet. I can usually see it real clearly once I get around the corner and the trees are out of the way. If I go down to the park, which is right outside of all the city lights, you can really see things and it's really cool. So that's why I enjoy country living so much because I don't like all of the city lights and the blockages and the power lines in my way and everything is just like the Tesla song signs. I love you all so much. Go set your intentions and manifest all of the good things that you want in life, all positivity. So I love you so much. Have a beautiful night. And I may come back to do practicing peace in times of work because I like to end books. I like to end them and put them back on the shelf, and then we completed another one. So I love you all so much and have a beautiful night. Thank you so much for joining and thank you for the likes. Bye.